Super-Earth has a long and storied history of epic heroes who have made a name for themselves by being the most brutal warriors in the galaxy. Today we take a look at the stuff of legend. Known by many as the Maestro of Mayhem, the Democratic Demolisher, or the Ambassador of Annihilation, this elusive figure goes by countless different names. However, most of us simply know him as John. So then, who exactly is this fearless soldier of fortune they call John Helldiver? And how did he become the beacon of liberty that continues to inspire countless Helldivers and members of the SCAF to risk everything in the name of freedom and democracy? While we briefly covered this valiant warrior in a short broadcast in the past, the fact remains that his origins are as mysterious as the encroaching gloom that obscures much of the Eastern Front. Nevertheless, there are some things we do know for sure about this caped hero. The first official statement surrounding this legend comes in the form of a mention in official documents from the extremely well-received 60-day Arsenal Augmentation Initiative, which commenced early on in August of this year. The deployment in question aimed to fix various issues and make significant improvements, specifically to the damage output of weapons within the aforementioned 60-day period. Within this documentation, an interesting message from the Ministry of Truth was found concerning a commando who was instrumental in disabling production of the automaton's newly introduced Hulk Bruiser cannon. The message states, in response to their disapproval of a newly installed cannon on the automaton Hulk Bruisers, Super-Earth High Command sent a crack commando to sabotage their production facilities. The skilled operative promptly escaped into the shadows after completing their mission. Today, still wanted by the automatons, they survive as a soldier of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can enlist John Helldiver. From what we've been able to discern, this is the first official acknowledgement of John Helldiver's existence. However, it does little to shed any light on his identity, history, or any other details for that matter. It's clear that John is trusted by High Command, but in all likelihood, they deliberately keep his identity a secret to ensure that he is able to conduct his operations without having to fear for his life or the lives of his loved ones. It should be noted that while attempting to research information on John, one of our SCS archivists was reportedly approached by a high-ranking official from the Ministry of Truth and aggressively escorted to an undisclosed location. This all according to eyewitnesses at the Super-Earth Truth Archives, or SATA for short. Since then, the archivist in question has not been seen or heard from. However, we assume he is in good hands as we have full faith that High Command always has our best interests at heart. Let this also serve as a cogent reminder to you all, Helldivers. If you decide to investigate any of Super-Earth's most valuable assets, tread lightly. The Ministry of Truth has strict protocols that must be observed at all times. Either way, good luck, brave soldier, but be aware that you will need to fulfill your SCS duties if and when you return. Regardless of any missing or absent persons, leaked documents from the Super-Earth Truth Archives provide little more than speculation on the subject. That said, there are cryptic mentions of John Helldiver being trained by none other than the inimitable General Brash himself. But at the same time, many of these leaks also allude to the possibility that John Helldiver and General Brash are in fact one and the same. We must highlight that these leaked documents are heavily redacted and that research into them has unfortunately resulted in conflicting reports, leading to a number of heated disputes erupting between many of Super-Earth's top anthropologists. In response, the Truth Archives released a statement categorically denying the existence of these aforementioned leaked documents. A representative of High Command, who will remain unnamed, refused to answer questions concerning the subject, but issued an official statement praising the Truth Archives for purging undesirable material for public consumption as well as maintaining the security of any files that may or may not exist. With official files under lock and key by the proper authorities, we here at the SCS can only speculate on details surrounding John based on the unconfirmed personal accounts from fellow devoted Helldivers. Take note that these soldiers only claim to have second-hand accounts of planetary operations executed with John Helldiver, and that none of these statements are backed up by anyone in Super-Earth's command structure. I've heard that he managed to hold back the automaton offensive temporarily all by himself back in Malevelon Creek. Very recently, he was also the first one to dive into Velt and help to liberate 50% of the planet all alone. He's a true hero. Not a weeb or furry. I heard he once jumped without a hell pod and crushed a bile titan. Any consequence 6283. I heard he single-handedly stopped an entire automaton offensive strictly using resupply pods. Formal Salamander 12. I heard he beat a bile titan in a puking duel after drinking nothing but Liberty for 3 days. Neerdalung. These kinds of claims admittedly go on and on. Given just how outlandish many of these quotes are, it is entirely possible that none are true. However, there are many who truly believe that John Helldiver possesses skills and abilities that make him closer to a god than a man. We have been instructed to let you all know that John has not been genetically modified in any way and that he is 100% human. No cybernetic enhancements, no superhuman strength, just pure unadulterated Helldiver. Even with all these incredible stories and observations, it should be mentioned that there are murmurs of a suspicious history surrounding John, many of which remain strictly speculative as stated before, but in spite of this, they must be duly addressed. Further to the accusations of genetic engineering, some say John is part of a top-secret operation called Project Forced Freedom, which attempts to genetically enhance future Helldivers. Details are scarce surrounding this alleged program, but according to reports, newborn citizens are stolen from their parents and repeatedly injected with an unidentified serum that enhances reactions and durability and instills an unrelenting devotion to spreading democracy not found in the already highly motivated core of personnel currently in service of the Federation. Another account states that High Command has discovered a way to use black holes to create a short-term form of time travel, and that John is actually using this rumored technology. In essence, John has precognitive abilities and knows exactly what will happen, allowing him to deal with threats before they can cause any real damage to him or his comrades. We here at the SES deem all of these theories highly treasonous. As you all know, under no circumstances would High Command put its citizens at the extreme risks mentioned in these seditious rumors. Consequently, anyone caught spreading these blatant lies will be immediately expedited to the nearest re-education facility where they will serve out their sentence. In all likelihood, transgressors will meet the same fate as our missing archivist. John is a hero of Super Earth and certainly not part of some heinous conspiracy theory. Although much of his life is shrouded in mystery, there is no doubt that he has a sacred duty to protect the people of the Federation and would never put them in harm's way. We must honor our heroes and always ensure that their legacies remain untainted. Accounts like these only deepen the mythology surrounding this indefatigable warrior, and at the same time provide no real conclusive knowledge of his past, present, or future in the battle for democracy. With every futile search for more concrete information, only two conclusions are verifiably true. 1. That John serves as a beacon of hope, motivating countless Helldivers and SEAF personnel to rise up and crush the bots and bugs regardless of the odds for the glory of Super Earth's democratic future, and 2. That each and every cadet must strive to become the embodiment of freedom and democracy this legendary combatant has come to represent. Nevertheless, here at the SES, these speculative statements, combined with the confirmed success of operations decimating automaton strongholds as well as scuttling bot weaponry production, make it hard to deny the potency of this devoted hero of truth and prosperity. Whether John Helldiver is a friend of General Brash, his brother, or even his son, it's of no real consequence. Wherever there is trouble, or if a mission of critical importance needs to be dealt with in an efficient manner, John will be dispatched, and there is no doubt that he will prevail in his endeavors. Numerous threats loom on the horizon. The gloom is no laughing matter, and as long as Cyberstan remains in the grasp of the bots, John will not be able to rest anytime soon. If you ever see a single Helldiver operating in a given sector or on a certain planet, there's a very strong chance that it is John. However, these are often nothing more than glitches with the galactic map, as actually giving away John's location could prove disastrous if these details ever got into the wrong hands. John may be strong, but he is mortal. It is therefore up to each and every one of us to keep his whereabouts a secret so that our foes can never gain the upper hand. Salutations, John Helldiver. Thank you for your service and tireless devotion to the Federation. This officially brings another SES feature broadcast to an end. So what do you think makes John Helldiver so special? And have you or a friend ever been on a mission with this legendary soldier? Are the rumors true? Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. And as always, report anyone expressing controversial ideas. They will be immediately sent to the nearest camp for full re-education. If you come across our archivist, tell him hello from all of us at the SES and that we hope he gets home safe and sound soon. And also that he has weeks of work to catch up on. On behalf of the Ministry of Truth and High Command, this is the SES signing off.